Good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having a beautiful day so far. This is actually my second take recording this reading because a minute into the last recording, I started experiencing really strange technical issues that I've never had before, which is ironic because what I wanted to speak on a little bit in this reading is just some of the energy I've felt coming through that has been really intense in the last 24 hours. And I know that because these are collective readings, there are certain experiences that we collectively share as twin flames worldwide. And then there are other experiences that we might have differently. We all can experience these energies in different ways, individually and with our person. But I do feel that I'm being guided to create this video and speak on something that some of us have been going through, especially the last day or the last few days, which is an intensification of this upheaval. And I kind of spoke a little bit on this in my last reading video yesterday. I spoke on how a karmic contract was going to be fulfilled, whether this was a contract with a literal person, a karmic connection, a karmic relationship, or whether this was literally a thought pattern, a negative pattern that was going to come up or was in the process of coming up to be healed. And it's ironic because I spoke on that, and then later that night, I was actually confronted by some of my own karmic patterns within myself, my own negative thought patterns that were really emerging in a very intense way. And I feel that whenever we experience something really intense, some kind of individual upheaval along this never-ending healing path, the natural reaction, the way that society has programmed us to react to our own pain, to our own wounding, to our own healing through that surfacing of those wounds, we've been trained to react by repressing those experiences or hiding them or masking them or trying to escape from them in some way. But whenever we do this, we not only inhibit our own healing growth and transformation, but we actually deny others the chance to learn, grow, and benefit from sharing our own experiences. So I, through this channel, really want to promote the kind of environment, the kind of atmosphere where we all feel open to share about this healing process and the messiness of it, the chaos of it at times, the upheaval. So through this reading, I really want to just sense into any collective energies that are coming up at this time that may be causing this kind of more intense healing or change right now, and especially within the last 24 to 48 hours around kind of the tail end of this full moon that we just experienced a few days ago. I also want to let you know that prior to doing this reading, I felt really drawn to a citrine stone that I have, a crystal, and I am not super familiar yet with a lot of the different healing properties of crystals, so I actually did some research on this, and I was interested to find that this stone is actually one that can be used to bring in positive energy or kind of an energetic boost at a time when we're feeling stressed out or chaotic or just feeling a bit low. So this reading is designed for anyone who might need to feel seen or supported at this time, who may be experiencing any kind of upheaval or intensity right now. So if that's you, then there may just be some message from this reading that you need to hear right now, and I hope that I can deliver that message to you. I also want to apologize in advance because just like I was about to say with those technical issues I experienced, because of the intensity of the energies right now that I've felt and in the last 24 hours, I am aware and want to let you know that my communication may not be 100% today, but I do still feel that it's important to share these messages in whatever way I can, even though I know that just like I felt that my sound system wasn't fully connecting to my computer. I sometimes feel the same way when it comes to communication with the energies, especially today. I feel as though the energies may have that kind of disconnected feeling. So do let me know if any of you have felt a bit of miscommunication in the last 24 hours, or any kind of upheaval or change or intensity of any kind. So as always, I'm going to begin this reading by shuffling our Energy Oracle Cards deck. And I invite any of you listening to this reading, you could hear me just take a breath, but if you feel drawn to do so, to just take a deep grounding breath, you can even pause the video if you need to. And especially today, just because of the intensity of these energies, I would really love if anyone out there listening would feel guided to set your own clear, powerful intention for this reading, for these messages, because as I always say, your intentions in the future truly do affect the messages that I bring forth in the present as I'm doing these readings, because energy really doesn't know time or distance. Also, I do want to let you know that throughout this reading and through all of my readings, I will most likely be recommending specific subliminal meditations that you can use to shift, heal, or change the energy of any situations that we talk about through this reading. All of these subliminals come from my website and soul passion project, Sound and Soulful. And on this website, I have created over 100 subliminals for all areas of life. So you can just see some of the subliminals I've created on the screen recording you're looking at on the screen. So any subliminals I recommend will be linked in the pinned comment or the description box. And you can try out any subliminal I've created on my site completely free for 7 days when you create a free trial account on my website. Also, if I do resonate with you, please do click the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know if any messages resonate with you. I'm really trying to shuffle the cards very well today, because whenever there's an intense energetic wave moving through, I really find that it takes more shuffling to kind of clear out any stale energies and bring forth clear messages. So thank you for your patience. I really like to shuffle while recording rather than doing so prior to recording, just because, like I said, I do feel that your energetic intentions, your energy watching this video affects the shuffling and the cards that come out. By the way, I've already pulled 4 cards. I'm just trying to start with 6 cards if we can here. So, Spirit, what kinds of messages does the Twin Flame Collective need to hear at this time? Well, we may only have 4 cards for now. So I'm actually just going to start with these 4 cards. The first card is Door to Spirit in the upright position, and I instantly just heard, listen to your intuition, and specifically listen to your heart. What is your heart telling you? I got this message, kind of a download prior to doing this reading, that on this path, on this twin flame path, we don't just choose love once. We choose love over and over and over again. And also, it takes a lot of courage to choose love in this way. It sounds kind of airy-fairy and can even sound easy if you aren't on this path, like, oh, just choose love. But in real time, it takes a lot of courage to choose feeling into that heart space over letting our fear control us. And it's really interesting that I just kind of channeled that just now, because in my morning meditation today, while I was meditating, I brought forth one message that I felt would connect with someone listening. So I'm just pulling out my journal so I can remember what I channeled there. And the message was, anything coming from a space of fear is illusion. And I just wanted to say that because I really feel that especially in the last 24 or 48 hours. And this is funny because I brought this up in my reading yesterday, that there was some element of illusion at play. And I really felt that coming out or unfolding later in the day yesterday. And I feel that actually the illusion is something created out of fear. So I feel many of us are experiencing, or have very recently in the last day or two, experienced some kind of situation within our twin flame connection where there was this illusion created from a space of fear. So again, this is a collective reading, so take that as it resonates, if it resonates. But I feel that for those of you meant to hear or pick up that specific message, you kind of could instantly connect to some conversation or experience or thought that was created based on fear and not from a space of love, not from a heart space. So I feel you're being guided to kind of reevaluate that situation, conversation, or thought from a space of love rather than a space of fear. And to understand that whenever you feel your fight or flight engaged, you feel that kind of heart-pounding anxiety sensation, that is your fear speaking and creating an illusion, causing you to potentially mistake this situation for something that it's not, to not be able to see clearly. Because when we're in that fight or flight mode, when our anxiety gets engaged, it actually shuts down part of our brain that is able to clearly see and understand a situation. It really shuts down our intuition. And that presence of fear in the mind really blocks our access to the intuition that is always flowing to us. So just know that whenever you're approaching a situation from a space of fear, you aren't fully and clearly seeing that situation. I just feel someone needed to know that. And I feel that might bring a sense of peace to someone. If you've been worrying about something, you're being guided to really feel into what your heart is trying to tell you about this situation. The second card is the Temple Path in the upright position. So I'm specifically actually hearing this for anyone who has been going through any kind of upheaval in the last few days or the last week with the full moon. This was a really intense full moon cycle, and I'm hearing Spirit say this is all on your path. And I actually just feel my eyes kind of tearing up, like I'm feeling really emotional about this, because I feel like someone is feeling guilt or shame, like, wow, this is a really intense message someone needs to hear. Like, how could I come this far and yet backslide so much? I feel like someone is wondering why now? Why is all of this coming up now? Why is all of this pain, this fear, why is this negative pattern resurfacing now? And I feel like you're being told the answer to that question that you're asking in the dark when you're alone. Why am I feeling this? Why is this happening? You're being told it's happening because you are ready to transmute this. And actually, I'm taking this from one of your comments from one of you beautiful souls that listened to my last reading and said, I set the intention to transmute fear into love. And I just thought that was such a beautiful comment. And I feel that that's something we're all collectively being guided to do at this time, to transmute fear into love, the fear within us that has been controlling us in unnatural ways, the fear that has been programmed into us. We are being guided to release that, to let it go. I will also say that when I channeled that message I was talking about earlier, I was actually meditating with a subliminal I use every single morning, but one that I find especially helpful to me, energetically speaking, whenever I've just gone through some kind of intense wave or when I'm processing a lot of intense energies. I always listen to my 7 chakra clearing subliminal. Now I have several of these designed for different shifts and changes, including one 7 chakra clearing specifically for twin flames, and another one that is just a general clearing. Now, because the twin flame connection, this path, is so intimately tied to our own individual energy. This is a mirrored connection. So really either of these subliminals would be a powerful energy tool for twin flames. So you can just explore whichever one you feel guided toward the most. But I personally just use most of the time the general 7 chakra clearing. And I find that it really helps me to clear out any old, stale, negative energies and really magnetize my energy with positive feeling, positive emotion. And it just really sets the energetic tone for my whole day. So if you are interested in exploring either of these chakra clearing subliminals, I will leave the link in the pinned comment and the description box. Okay, so the third card I pulled is Carrying Connections in the reverse position. And I instantly felt some of you reacting to this card with fear, because whenever we see a love card reversed and it comes to a twin flame reading, our ego likes to step in and say, oh, this means this person is disconnecting from me, or this isn't a loving connection. But that's just the ego speaking. What this card is actually telling us is that we are experiencing some kind of disconnect from our person, from our twin flame. Or again, this won't apply to everyone, but I do feel that in the last 24 to 48 hours, there has been a feeling of disconnect, of miscommunication. And I feel that this is actually stemming from many of us have had, again, some kind of karmic situation come up. Now, by karmic situation, this could be referring to so many different things, just depending on how it individually applies. For some of us, as in my case, this is a karmic thought pattern, a kind of negative programming that I'm working through healing and transforming. For others of us, this could be literally a karmic pattern presented in the form of a person, of a third-party connection. So this could literally be your twin flame connecting with a third party who is a karmic connection. This could be someone coming back into your life that you have karma with to be resolved. Or this could simply be you being asked to confront your own karmic pattern, to heal it through a situation with a person. So just as one very small, isolated, random example, this definitely may not even apply to anyone. This could just be an example, but an example of a karmic pattern kind of emerging in the form of a person would be like, let's say that you have this karmic pattern of running away from your twin flame connection out of fear. You may find that you are presented with some other suitor or someone that wants to date you or is interested in you, and at the same time, some kind of situation happens with your twin flame that causes you to be very afraid. And when you were stuck in this old karmic pattern, you would have abandoned emotionally, temporarily. Of course, you can never abandon it completely, but you would try to run away from your twin flame connection and into the arms of this other person that just seems so available in the moment. And you would do this out of fear, from a space of ego and fear. But then when you're asked to heal this pattern, you might be in a situation where you're presented with the exact same set of circumstances, and you're being asked to choose something different, to choose love, to choose connection, to not act out of fear or escapism or from a space of ego. And again, this is a very, very random, isolated example. It might apply to someone, but this is just to give you an idea of how these kinds of karmic patterns can play out in our relationships when they are coming up for the purpose of being healed. I also do want to say that this card is the number 14. I personally have been seeing a lot of 1s and 4s lately, and actually the number 1414. So if you've been seeing this repeating angel number, I just kind of felt like I needed to touch on that because I do feel some of us are having that experience. I also do just want to take a moment and look up the meaning of this number specifically, just to share with you any kind of channeled messages I can get from this number meaning. Okay guys, so interestingly, the number 1414 can be a message that your thoughts and feelings are being elevated to a more positive state. Now, this is really synchronistic that this card came up, because at the beginning of the reading, I was talking about how I was also drawn to the citrine crystal, and how this crystal actually also connects to this infusing of positive emotions, this elevating of our energy. I'm sensing kind of a futuristic, very near future energy from this message, meaning that in the very near future, I do feel that the situation will improve, that your emotions are going to be elevated, that something is going to be upgraded. In fact, for some of you, this may already be happening. You could really be at any phase in this kind of wave. You could be going through the upheaval, or you could be now in the state of feeling more elevated, feeling more infused with positive energy. But if this hasn't happened to you yet, I do feel that you are going through whatever intense situation, conversation, or thought process that has been emerging, actually for the purpose of this upgrade, for the purpose of this elevation. I'm being told this energetic elevation isn't just you coming back to square one. It's not just you finding relief from some kind of a negative situation. This is actually you being upgraded because you had the courage and the strength to go through this upheaval, to transmute this negative situation. So it's actually, I feel Spirit actually saying that you had to go through, again, this won't be for everyone, but if you've gone through this intense situation recently, it's not just that this was backsliding, this was actually moving forward. And this might be where the element of illusion is coming into play, because I feel like the ego may have been looking at this conversation. I do really strongly feel for some of you, this really could have been a literal conversation with your person recently that felt like backsliding for some reason, that felt like some old pattern coming up. But you're being told this actually wasn't backsliding at all. That's just how the ego is looking at this. It's saying that you're backsliding, but actually these were major energetic elevations, upgrades, major strides forward. And the last card, I somehow knew that a chakra card in reverse was going to come up just to kind of tell us which chakra is being blocked here. But interestingly, this is the third chakra in the reverse position coming up here. So the third chakra, of course, is the solar plexus chakra. And lately, I've been doing a lot of videos and creating new subliminals targeted specifically to the lower chakras. So the ones I've done so far and discussed so far specifically were the root chakra and the sacral chakra. But it's interesting this card came up because I kind of felt myself being pushed to create more content and even a specific subliminal for the solar plexus chakra as well. So that may be coming in the near future. But this card in the reverse position tells me that what is bringing up this situation, what's coming up to be healed, is a lack of self-confidence. And I feel for many of you, this is actually stemming from a very, very deep and maybe even completely unconscious place. I do feel that for many of us, this lack of self-confidence, this fear of fully opening ourselves to fully connecting with others, is actually coming from a deeply rooted space of insecurity. And I have to say, guys, I know this won't be everyone, but I was really strongly channeling in today's meditation someone's energy who has had childhood experiences of chaos that set a chaotic tone for all future intimate connections, meaning that whoever this message is for, I feel like you're the type of person who was so accustomed to love feeling like chaos. I'm just getting goosebumps here, kind of confirming this. I feel like someone was so used to love from their parents or from their family members or their home environment feeling so chaotic that you began to associate love with feeling chaos. You began to associate love with almost like pain, with pressure, with tension. For some of you, this might be, again, an early family situation, a childhood experience, a home experience. For others of you, I do feel this could be an early formative romantic relationship. So you may have been in a relationship where you were mistreated, to put it lightly, in some way. And because of this, you began to create this connection in your brain between love and feeling chaotic and feeling anxious. That's the word I was looking for. It's like love and anxiety were kind of tangled up together. And what happened because of this connection created neurologically in your mind is that actually you were no longer able to feel comfortable in a safe, secure connection. Again, this won't be for everyone, but I am just touching so much on this because I feel that someone, whoever needs to hear this, like really needs to hear it. And I feel that at times when you find yourself feeling loving, feeling warm, feeling safe, feeling connected to your twin flames energy, it actually causes you to want to run away or to begin to look for things that are going wrong out of this space of anxiety and fear, because you think to yourself, if love always has felt like chaos for me, if love has always felt painful for me, how can I feel so safe and secure and have it still be love? It's like you don't trust that love can feel this good, that love can feel this safe and secure. Again, I should have said this at the beginning, but all of this energy in the twin flame connection is mirrored. So this could actually be your thoughts and feelings, or it could be your person, your counterpart that I'm referring to. But all of this comes down to a block in the solar plexus chakra that is being indicated here. A feeling of learned insecurity, not feeling confident, safe, and secure in our romantic connections because we associate feelings of security. It's like we don't associate love with security. I was trying to clearly kind of channel this message. There's just this disconnect here. This might go back to that kind of technical issue I was having where my cord for my sound system wasn't fully connecting to my laptop. It's like I feel that within the collective, there is this wound emerging for many of us where there is a disconnect between feeling safe and feeling loved. It's like we feel as though those things can't coexist. And again, this could actually be referring to your person, because I do feel for some of you, this could actually be why, if you're in a situation where your twin flame is physically withdrawing or separating themselves, this actually could be coming from a solar plexus block within them. So I will be creating in the near future a solar plexus subliminal specifically. So once that is created, I will also link that in the pinned comment and description box. However, if that is not created yet when you're watching this video, simply using one of my 7 chakra clearing subliminals will address these blockages in the solar plexus in a comprehensive way, because all of my 7 chakra clearing subliminals do contain several affirmations and binaural beat frequencies specifically targeted to the solar plexus. Okay, so that feels like a very level place to begin this reading. But I do feel not completely satisfied with that reading as is, because I feel there are more specific clarification messages. So, Spirit, can you tell us any more about this disconnect happening within this love connection or this solar plexus block that is emerging right now? And feel free to reset your own intentions if you like. Okay, I've pulled 2 cards. Let's see if any other cards will come up here. You know, I'm not really feeling any cards coming out here besides these 2, so I'm just going to go ahead and flip over these 2 cards and see what we have here. Okay, so the first card is the Goddess of the Moon in the reverse position. Whenever I see this card, it really indicates to me a divine feminine who is out of her power, who is disempowered in some way, which does lead me to believe that many of you listening who have experienced the situation of upheaval, the intense energies, could actually be a divine feminine. I'm also feeling many of you with the solar plexus block could be a divine feminine. And I feel this is coming up in part, for some reason I'm seeing a young girl, like a child. I'm seeing a girl who is painting, who is creating, but who is sad. I'm seeing a young child who is too sad at such a young age. And I know that sounds like kind of a strange message, and I know this won't apply to everyone. This may just be one of you divine feminines listening, but I do feel that one divine feminine listening to this was very hurt in childhood, and she always feels betrayed or hurt somehow in her romantic connections, but this was actually an energetic pattern created by her parents, to put it bluntly, by her family, because she always felt like her creative endeavors were rejected by her family, like she was disempowered by her family at a time when she was so young. She was still dependent on them to feel empowered. And because she became so used to giving away her power, she continued to do so in all of her romantic relationships. And I have to say, whatever divine feminine I'm talking to, you are this beautiful, magnificent, creative, powerful being. But I feel like there's a part of you who has forgotten that, or who is reawakening to that knowing. But it's like this long process of unraveling all of this learned behavior. Again, many of these behaviors coming from childhood. And I know this won't be for everyone. I keep saying that, but whatever divine feminine needs to hear this message, you just really need to know that you are on that temple path. You are reawakening to your power. Nothing is going wrong here. And I just feel that someone is going through some kind of intense sort of unraveling process of unlearning all of this disempowerment. The second card is the Deceit card in the upright position. This is another one of those cards that when it comes out, the ego likes to step in and give a fear interpretation. Usually when it comes to love readings, the ego loves to step in for the Deceit card and say, oh, this means that this person is deceiving me or lying to me. But that's not at all the message I'm getting from this card. What I'm actually feeling from this card is that someone is deceiving themselves into believing that they aren't worthy of love, or that they aren't as powerful as they truly are. And again, I feel this was a learned behavior, either through previous relationships, through just life circumstances that were very difficult. I'm getting a lot of light worker energy. Light worker meaning someone who came to this earth, chose a very difficult path for the purpose of learning through their own experiences the process of transmuting darkness into light. Light workers often are given some of the most difficult life paths because they learned this light working process, this process of transmuting darkness into light through their own very dark experiences. And I see someone just kind of taking the blinders off of themselves, finally being able to see themselves for the powerful, creative, and worthy being that they've always been. But I do feel that this is a long process, and that right now what could be coming up is kind of a slipping back, or a feeling as though you're slipping back into kind of forgetting your own power. And also another really interesting thing about these cards is that one card, the Goddess of the Moon card, is the number 52. The Deceit card is the number 25. So because those are mirrored numbers, I also do feel a very strong divine counterpart, a strong twin flame energy coming through these cards. And what I'm also hearing is this journey for whatever divine feminine this is connecting with, this journey of stepping back into your own power, taking back your own power, realizing just how powerful, beautiful, and worthy you've always been. This isn't just an individualistic journey. This is actually closely tied to your twin flame path. This is the way in which I just heard something very clearly. Coming home to yourself is the way in which you come home to your twin flame, because every step you take within yourself is one step closer to your twin flame. So if this is connecting with you, this divine feminine coming back into her power, I do have a really powerful subliminal specifically for healing the divine feminine wounding, for really recapturing, emanating, radiating that powerful, magnetic, effortlessly creating divine feminine energy. And this subliminal is called the Awakened Divine Feminine, because really healing our divine feminine or divine masculine energy respectively is such a powerful way to step back into our true power, to rediscover our own potential, and to magnetize ourselves for all areas of our life, including, of course, our twin flame union, our twin flame connection, the harmonizing within this connection. So if you are interested in learning more about that divine feminine subliminal, I will leave that in the pinned comment and the description box. But I am just really strongly feeling this message because the deceit card came up and I kept having this feeling of illusion. Be so strongly aware of the ways in which others from your past have deceived you into forgetting or handing away your own power, or even the ways in which you may be unconsciously continuing to deceive yourself, believe in some kind of lie or illusion about yourself or your worthiness of love that is holding you back from fully connecting with the creative flow, the joy and connection you deserve to experience in this life. I'm just going to shuffle and see if there's anything else we can get here. So Spirit, is there any other information we can get about this disconnect happening within the twin flame connection, or this deceit that's happening, this goddess, this divine feminine out of her power? Let's just see if any cards will come out here. Door to romance in the reverse position. So this tells me, I actually saw a woman shutting the door. I'm really, for some reason, strongly feeling a divine feminine who is either actively, emotionally, or physically shutting out this love connection out of fear, or trying to close the door in some way. And I feel like this may be happening unconsciously, so she may not even realize that she is the one that is closing the door. She may just see that the door is closing, but not realize that it's her own pattern of acting out of fear or out of her power that is causing her to keep this door to romance closed. And on the flip side, I'm also hearing that the way in which this door to romance, I just saw this card kind of like turning in my mind. The way that you open the door, like this revolving door is kind of what I saw. The way you open the door is by stepping back into your power. I know I'm speaking a lot to the divine feminine, but I just feel a lot going on within her energy right now. So let's see if any other cards will come out here. By the way, this card is the number 33, and I've been seeing the numbers 333 and even 4 threes, like 3333, a lot lately. So if you've been seeing that, that could really be a sign to really take note in that moment of how you may be stepping out of your power and how you could be utilizing the powerful creative energy of your being at that time, because 333 is really an ascended master number, a number that you're being guided. You're being guided by the ascended masters in your life. You have this powerful creative energy within you that you can use at absolutely any moment to manifest your reality, both within this love connection and in every area of your life. The second card I pulled is the thinking man. Finally, some divine masculine energy coming through here. I've been speaking so much to the divine feminine. It's funny, this upright position thinking man, for some reason I instantly heard a divine masculine in his ego, which is interesting because yesterday we spoke on how the logical mind of the divine masculine was really coming through the ego of the divine masculine. And I actually feel that I saw these two cards together, the door to romance closed, and I actually feel this kind of back and forth energy happening between the divine feminine. I see a divine feminine feeling either low self-confidence or feeling disempowered or feeling as though she's backsliding in some way. And because of some way she's acting or something she's saying because of that feeling she's experiencing energetically, I see in turn a divine masculine stepping into his ego state, kind of closing off in his own way through ego. Or alternatively, for some of you, I feel that the divine masculine could be over-analyzing the ways in which the divine feminine is processing this intense energy or feeling disempowered, wanting to close this door out of fear. She may be doing all of that, and then the divine masculine I see is kind of analyzing this situation, kind of playing it over. I'm just seeing someone who is silently watching. So your divine masculine might not be saying much right now, but I do feel like they're watching this situation unfold or really thinking a lot more about it than they are letting you know on the surface. So again, this is a collective reading. So not all of these messages will resonate with everyone, but that is an energy coming through for someone here. I feel like we're done with the energy oracle cards clarifications happening here, but I'm actually feeling the need to go straight to the letter dice and the message cards. So as you all know who watch my channel consistently, these letter dice can sometimes spell first, middle, or last name initials of your person, but other times they may just spell words that may connect to this reading. So Spirit, what kinds of letters would connect to anyone listening to this reading right now? O, H, Z, X. So the person, the karmic connection coming back in, or the old pattern coming back could have something to do with an ex-partner or an ex-lover. Again, that might just be for one person. I don't feel that energy is super collective. I feel like that could be an individual message for one of you. Y, I, N, B, N. So this person could have double letters in their name. S. I just heard the word shy, but in my mind, it was interpreted as quiet or timid, which really goes back to I strongly feel someone is kind of silently watching this situation happen or unfold. And I'm really feeling a lot of divine masculines doing this, kind of calculating or analyzing in their mind, but maybe not moving forward, taking action, or saying a lot about everything that they're thinking or analyzing. W, S, E, N, W again. That's interesting. And U. Okay, so next I'm going to pull some potential message cards. These could just be words or phrases that connect to the twin flame collective energy at this time. Okay, so Spirit, what does anyone listening to this reading need to know at this time? What does the Twin Flame Collective need to hear? You know me already. I feel like because of the intense energies that may be coming up, this is kind of a strangely specific message, but I feel that someone who has been on this path, maybe even a long time, has been oddly kind of questioning the validity of this twin flame connection, kind of because of this intensity that's coming up, or some situation or conversation or some healing that's taking place that's looking very messy or chaotic. Someone has found themselves kind of questioning, is this person even my twin flame or divine counterpart? And again, this feels like it might just be for one person listening, but if this is you, and you came to this reading with these kinds of doubts or worries, I strongly feel this message, you know me already, is coming from your twin flame's higher self. And they're saying in confirmation, yes, we are twin flames. Yes, you've known me in every lifetime. And this is just your ego and your fear mind kind of creating this illusion of doubt. So Spirit, what else does anyone listening need to hear at this time? You promised. I'm actually also hearing this come from a divine masculine. Kind of, for some reason, these messages are feeling like they're coming unconsciously from a higher self perspective. Because, our twin flames don't just connect with us in the 3D and the physical. They're also connecting with us and communicating with us on that soul level that remembers every lifetime we've ever lived, on that higher self level. And I feel like this is your twin flame's higher self, someone listening to this, kind of gently reminding them, I know this path is difficult. I know that all of this intensity is occurring. That's been very challenging for you, but you promised. You promised in the sense of you intended to go through all of this intensity for the purpose of healing, growth, and transformation. We chose this together. We promised this to one another. And now I'm hearing a message from the Divine Feminine saying this card that just came out is it's almost too much. And I actually feel this coming from a 3D kind of perspective where the Divine Feminine is feeling like all of this energy coming up is almost too intense. I almost can't handle it. I almost just feel the need to run away from this connection because it's just too much to handle. Like I'm hearing someone say, I'm just not even sure I can do this anymore. And another message, please wait. So whoever in this connection is going through this very intense period of upheaval, change, transformation, I hear them saying to their counterpart, please wait for me, please. And this feels like, again, it's coming on kind of a higher self level, that they're saying, I know I'm going through all of this. I know that I'm reacting from a space of fear and ego because I'm working on healing this thing. Please wait for me. Please give me the space and time to heal this thing, to transmute this pain, this darkness. Wow, really like intense messages. I'm also feeling a lot of very like deep-seated heart chakra wounds coming to the surface to be healed, and meaning like deep level emotional wounds, resentments, betrayals from past relationships or even from childhood that are really emerging right now to be healed. So if that's you and you're really feeling heart chakra wounding coming up to be healed, I would really recommend my Twin Flame Heart Chakra Activation Subliminal. This is one that I personally use occasionally from time to time whenever I feel this kind of upheaval of negative emotions, this kind of deep level energetic healing happening through the heart chakra. It's really a powerful way to clear out any negative heart chakra blocks or energies and remagnetize the energy field with that magnetic love energy that allows us to open clear communication and manifestation within our twin flame connection. So that will be linked in the description box and pinned comment. Okay, so I'm now actually feeling guided to pull a few cards from the Angel Answers deck, just to get a little further clarification, maybe even a time frame on some of this energy that's been moving through us. So I'm just going to take another deep grounding breath and set a clear intention. Spirit, can we get some clarification, any further clarification or messages for the Twin Flame Collective at this time? So the first card that came out is Get More Information. Specifically, I hear that the information, so this is for anyone who's been going through this kind of intensity, feeling their nervous system, their fight or flight get engaged because of a situation, feeling afraid. I just kind of feel someone's like heart pounding, palms sweating, stomach hurting, kind of like anxiety, fear over some kind of situation. I'm specifically hearing the information you're getting in that state of anxiety is faulty. It's coming from ego-based fear mentality, and it's not actually coming from your intuition, even if you might be mistaking it for intuition. So what I'm hearing is actually just to clear your mind, to relax, to meditate, to take time to do the things you love that clear your energy, and to wait for more information from your guides, from your intuition, from that soul heart space. Because when you receive that information, it will bring you peace. It will bring you a feeling of warmth and love, not a feeling of fear. And that's how you'll be able to distinguish that this is my intuition now speaking to me, and I'm no longer thinking or receiving information from a space of fear. So I hope that makes sense to someone. I'm hearing that someone truly just needs to take a pause, take a breath, do a meditation, even take a nap. Just kind of allow your mind and your energy and everything to clear and your nervous system to calm down, so you're able to open your mind again to whatever intuition you may need to receive about any kind of forward movement in your life or in this connection. And the second card I got is Helpful People. This is really interesting. I'm actually not sure how this card applies, so I'm going to shuffle our energy oracle cards. So Spirit, what does this Helpful People card mean? Can you give us some clarification on this card? Who are these helpful people? The card that comes out is Cornucopia in the upright position. This is also the 11 card, so I always associate this card with manifestation. Wow, okay, it just came to me. I'm actually hearing helpful people. This is actually referring to you being guided, protected, and led by a spirit team, by spirit guides, by angels, by whatever divine forces you personally connect with. And they are actually actively helping you with this Cornucopia card manifest. So if you've been seeing a lot of 111, 1111, that is a clear sign that these, and I just am hearing also ascended masters, which came up earlier with that 333 number, but I am just feeling someone being very directly guided. And it's interesting because when I pulled the first card, the Get More Information card, there's an image on this card of an older man, a gentleman with a white beard, a long white beard and long white hair. And I actually feel that for some of you, it was a weird message, but I instantly felt that this image directly connected to someone that is being guided literally by this older gentleman in the spirit world. So this could literally be a relative who has passed on, a great grandparent, a grandparent, a great uncle. For some of you, this actually could be someone that you've never even met, but who actually has been in the spirit realm, who is an ancestor who's been guiding you your whole life. And for some of you, I feel as though you've always had this awareness that there's kind of this like older male spirit presence who's kind of been with you, caring for you or guiding you. And I feel like this is your intuition telling you that you are being guided in this way from the spirit realm. So again, this could just be one specific person I'm talking about here, but for that person who I'm connecting with, I am just going to roll the letter initial dice. So Spirit, can we get the first, middle, or last name of this person, this ascended master, or this passed on relative or ancestor who is guiding someone listening to this video? So I got D, N, could be like a Daniel or a Dan, B, I, U, M, U, U again. So I'm getting a lot of U's. This really could be an uncle or a great uncle. Y, D. So this could be a father, because I kind of heard dad, or like someone calling their father like daddy when they're young. Is like a young, I see like a young girl calling her father daddy, and this father passed on when he was older. He may have had a white beard and long white hair, and I do feel that if this is you, that your father may be actually actively guiding you from the spirit realm. Again, I feel like these are very hyper-specific messages, so just take this if it resonates, but I feel that this person, this spirit, really wanted to come through and confirm to someone listening to this what they already felt through their intuition, that they are guiding them, that they are there energetically supporting them. I'm getting also 2 V's in this name and an I and another D, so it also could be like a David. So again, that's a very hyper-specific message, probably just meant for someone specifically. So the last thing I want to do is actually also pull a few cards from our Romance Angels deck. So these will be hopefully messages specifically connected to love and to the romantic side of this kind of physical 3D component of the twin flame connection at this time. Okay, so Spirit, what else does the Twin Flame Collective listening to this video need to hear at this time? What other messages can I bring forth for the Twin Flame Collective right now? Let's see if any cards will come out here. I don't want to force any of these messages, which is why I really like to take my time shuffling and seeing what cards truly want to jump out here. Okay, so I heard release your ex, or I didn't hear, I saw on one of the cards. The time has come to clear your energy. Now for some of you, I feel this may be a literal X. It's so synchronistic this comes up because just earlier I was saying with the letter X coming up earlier in the reading that there could be an X coming into your life or into your person's life. This could be someone you dated, someone you had a situationship with, or a relationship. It could be either way. Could be just an ex-fling, an ex-partner. But for some of you, this actually could be simply, again, a karmic pattern, maybe not even in the form of a person, but just an old pattern coming up for the purpose of being released. But regardless of what this situation is for you specifically, the message is very clear with this card. The time has come to clear your energy. You are really, really being guided. Once again, like I said earlier, take a pause, take a breath, meditate, clear your mind, clear your energy. which again, this is personally my favorite form of energy clearing, is using a combination of subconscious mind reprogramming through subliminals, which also contain a form of sound therapy because the binaural beat frequencies essentially retune the energy of our being back to its natural state. So personally, I use the 7 chakra clearing for this kind of energy clearing exercise on a daily basis. But whatever way works for you, you're really being guided to clear your energy in that way. For some of you, I just keep getting this message, so I'm just going to say it. Some of you are musicians or writers. You do something very creative, and Spirit wants you to know that this is actually a form of energy clearing for you. I feel like I just heard someone saying in response to that, well, I don't make money doing this thing, or this thing really isn't worth my time. But I'm hearing like Spirit saying, no, this thing is so valuable. Whatever you do, especially if you're listening and you are a musician, any musicians listening who use their music to clear their mind, whether it's singing, I am seeing a lot of like playing guitar, doing something to kind of clear your mind, to share your creative voice or work with the world. I'm really hearing that this is more valuable than you realize. This really clears and lifts your energy more than you're even aware of. Let's see if any other cards will come out here. So Spirit, what else does the Twin Flame Collective, anyone listening, need to know at this time? Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Now, when this card comes out, I take this to mean soulmate in the way that I traditionally, when I was younger, understood the word soulmate, which is the one person who is your counterpart, who is your person, which at the time I didn't realize is actually what I would now call a twin flame, which is of course a kind of soulmate, but it's a very high level, the highest level and the deepest form of soul connection, because it is our mirror soul, it is our counterpart. So I feel this was specifically for someone who may have been coming to this reading asking for confirmation. Is this person my twin flame? Is this my person? Is this my divine counterpart? And this is Spirit saying yes. And I specifically heard be at peace about this situation. And it is safe to be at peace. It is safe to let down your guard. It is safe to relax into the knowing that you have on a soul level about this person and about this connection. So the last thing I want to do, just kind of for fun here, is to pull a few of these word cards. These are usually words or phrases or signs that may just connect to someone listening in some way. Familiar was the first card, and I actually kind of just heard this like a love letter. I heard someone saying, I've written you 1,000 love letters I would never send. And I feel like this has been taking place within the mind, within the energy. I feel like someone in this connection, more than they've been showing, has just been feeling extremely affectionate lately and has really been running through all the reasons they love you in their mind, even things that they may not say aloud or may not actually tell you. It's like this love letter full of positive things about you that they love and adore on a soul level that they kind of just can't help but run through in their mind. Logical. That card actually came up yesterday as well. I feel this is still just indicating, this is actually kind of setting up a little bit of a contrast here between that and the familiar card. It's like on the one hand, I specifically feel, I see a man kind of doing this, or a divine masculine. So I do feel like a divine masculine is feeling so affectionate towards a divine feminine right now, but is actually not expressing all of that affection openly because of this ego stepping in, because of this logical mind. Again, for all the reasons that we stated earlier on in the reading. Eyes. Somehow I knew this card was going to come up. I actually heard specifically, I see your eyes burning into my mind. So this could be you or your counterpart or both of you, but I am just feeling like someone for some reason lately has really been seeing the other person's eyes within their own mind, which sounds like kind of a weird message, but I'm also hearing someone say like, I long for you just to look at me. Yesterday, I kind of channeled this message of it was like I long for those moments when you look at me by accident, which of course, not accidentally. Twin flames are always just fully drawn to one another's energy. But I feel like someone is just like, they just bask in the gaze of their person kind of secretly. And they just long for those moments where they accidentally, again, not accidentally, but meet eyes or are looking at each other. voice. And I feel this in the same way. It's like I kind of feel for some reason, I feel a lot of divine masculine energy here, just like listing through all of these things they love about you. I'm also specifically hearing with the voice, like I feel at home in your voice. Like if I close my eyes while you're talking, it's the most magnificent, beautiful feeling in the world. There is just like this whole love letter coming through here. Career. I actually feel this coming from like the ego side. Like I feel like there's something to do with expansion or change when it comes to job or career. And I feel like there is one counterpart who's been really in their head, in their logical mind, in their ego when it comes to their work. Maybe they are a workaholic, they're overworking themselves, or they're just feeling lost in their career, or there's something kind of about that connecting to the ego coming up here. Body. That's so interesting. We're now getting back to this love letter. I have to tell you, there is some divine masculine just literally, they can't stop thinking about your eyes, your voice, your body, all of these things that they love about you. They wish that they could just tell you, just like overflow with all of these compliments and words of adoration for everything they love about you. Structure. And I specifically heard with that, it's like, again, this contrast between all of these things they love about you and can't stop thinking about you. But then there's something going on here on the other side with the ego. And I feel with that word structure that there's a divine masculine who just isn't sure how. It's like structure in terms of how can all of this fit into my life? How can our lives fit together? I see someone through the ego trying to analyze and plan for how this is going to work out and not being able to fully see that kind of picture yet. So I feel like this is a good place to stop this reading. I feel I've brought through a lot of very specific as well as collective messages. So as always, because this oddly did bring through many very specific random messages, so please do just at the end of the day, always use your own soul's intuition as your highest guide. And I'm kind of smiling because I just saw the numbers 111 on my recording screen, which of course indicates to us a number of alignment, of manifestation, of connection. So thank you to all of you who do join me in these readings with your energy, who co-creates all of these messages, all of this information along with me. Please do subscribe to my channel if I resonate with you. Any subliminals mentioned in this reading will be linked below in the description box in the pinned comment. And once again, you can try out any of these subliminals completely free for 7 days when you create a trial account on my website. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself, where I post high vibrational content to keep your vibration up all day long. I hope you all have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your week, and I'll talk to you again in the next reading.